Hey guys, how's it going? This is Jacqueline, the Unimportant Homemaker, and today let's talk about service. Homemaking has become so very dear to my heart. As a mother, I'm always mindful of the fact that while Haley is living with us and growing up, she is also establishing habits and behaviors and routines that will likely follow her throughout her life. As I've lived and worked alongside her, ordering my own life to be service-oriented, I've noticed some things that became apparent, but that I didn't realize I would teach or even was supposed to teach to my daughter. First is incline not to sloth and love not to laze in bed, but rise early and dress yourself with decency and cleanliness. It took some doing, but I was able to establish a routine of serving my family. Once the alarm would sound, I would begin to waken, not hitting the snooze button, but reminding myself that sleep time is done and now is time for work. After rising early and attending to my soul first, I would then prepare myself in full dress, donning my apron to signify the start of my duties. This set an important foundation for myself, knowing that I have a duty of service to attend to. So I also began to include my daughter in this routine. We began by talking about the importance every person in our family has, the roles they play, and the service they perform to the furtherance of the family. We talk about the foolishness of setting multiple alarms, lying to oneself about the end of the rest period, and training ourselves to ignore our own plans in order to overindulge in sleep. We make time for rest during the day, napping if it is necessary, but we do not indulge in the business of loving sleep. Sleep has a purpose, and it is not to become a hobby or a favorite pastime, since this encourages laziness. She learned also to get completely dressed before joining the family for Bible study. We do not spend our days in loungewear unless we are under the weather and will be resting. Second, be courteous and mannerly to all who speak with you. My mornings were a minefield before I learned to prepare my heart. I was moody, and I depended upon coffee before I would be kind. Gradually, I was able to see that it was a sinful thing to depend upon a drink to color my behavior. I made it my mission to control my behavior and turn it towards kindness and helpfulness by offering to be of assistance to my family so that they might have a smoother morning as well. So, when considering my daughter and her morning countenance, I sought to teach her to prepare her heart before addressing her parents in the mornings. She was to spend some time alone and engage only when she had a handle on her disposition, knowing that disrespectful and rude behaviors would not produce favor, but instead wrath. She learned to not grumble at the morning routine she was to join in, waste not the food provided for her, and hasten to her chores. And finally, mind what you are about and neglect not what you are to do, but apply yourself to your service and education. Initially, I thought homemaking and housekeeping were merely tasks to be performed, but as I toiled day in and day out, I began to see the wisdom of God in calling us to work. I began to take seriously my service, applying myself diligently to the task, learning more skills and techniques, striving for excellency in my homemaking. I studied cooking and cleaning techniques, learning from others who achieved a level of mastery I didn't know existed in homemaking, and I encouraged my daughter to elevate her intentions for service and education. She was to see learning not as a means to an end or to result in a test to prove one's knowledge, but to see learning as an avenue through which she can improve herself and the lives of others around her. Her learning of U.S. history would render her able to converse with others, and that putting a trash bag immediately into the can after removing one would prevent an accidental disposal or cause someone to get irritated because the job wasn't completed properly. She was to approach service and education as a training ground, striving for the mastery. We also both had to learn to do our own work lest it became added to someone else's burden, because we ourselves were neglectful. My daughter learned that we all have certain roles we play within the family and that her service is needed, appropriate for her, and to be completed by her in a reasonable time, cleanly and well. Tell me, what kinds of things did you discover in your service to your family that you endeavored to instill in your own children? I'd love to hear about it in the comment section below. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.